Hello. I would like to welcome you to Storytime. We've got a very good book today, given to me by a couple of very good friends of mine. But before we get started, I have to say hello to some other friends as well. I would like to say hello to my good friend Liam. Hello. I would like to say a huge happy birthday to Presley, who's 6. Happy birthday, Presley. I would like to say hello to Rachel and Hugo and Louis and Jacob and Basil and Terry and Mason. Hello. A special hello to Kellen Michael Moore, who just turned 2. Happy birthday. And Darby, hello. We can't wait to see you very soon. Well, we have a super special book for you today. It was lent to me by my good friends Ben and Elliot. It's called Walter the Farting Dog. Now, if you have anyone that you want to go get right now, you can go do it. It's okay. We'll wait. Okay? Okay. Walter the Farting Dog by William Kotzwinkle and Glenn Murray. For everyone who's ever felt misjudged or misunderstood, Betty and Billy brought Walter home from the dog pound. Nobody wanted him, said Billy. But we love him, said Betty. Well, he smells awful, said their mother. I think you better give him a bath. Mother walked in and said, he still smells awful. And that's when they got the first clue, the telltale bubbles in the water. He's probably just a little nervous, said Mother hopefully. His stomach must be upset. But Walter's stomach wasn't upset. Walter's stomach was fine. He felt perfectly normal. He just farted a lot. He did it when he bathed. He did it when he played with Betty and Billy. He did it when he walked around the house. He did it in the dining room, he did it in the kitchen, and he did it in his sleep. That dog farts morning, noon, and night, said Father. He can't help it, Daddy, said Betty and Billy. They didn't mind Walter's farts. So what if he farts, Billy said to Betty when they were alone in their room with Walter. Betty agreed. Walter agreed too. He sat there looking innocently around. Farted, Take him to the vet, said father. Farting, said the vet, or flatulence, as we say in the medical profession, and prescribed a change in Walter's diet. They gave Walter every kind of dog food. He farted. They tried him on cat food. They gave him hot dogs and hamburgers and lettuce and tomato sandwiches. They gave him fried chicken. They gave him rabbit food. They made him a vegetarian. No matter what the dog eats, he turns it into farts, roared the father. Meow chow. Walter got the blame for somebody else's farts too. If Uncle Irv let one slip, he just went and stood near Walter. Then all Uncle Irv had to say was, "Walter!" And everyone would look at poor Walter. That's not fair. He has to go back to the pound, said father. No, Daddy, please, begged Betty and Billy. Don't send Walter away. He goes tomorrow, said father. That means it's snack time. I love snack time. I'm gonna get a snack. You stay right there. Well, maybe you should get one too. I'll be right back. This is a gluten-free brownie. Can you say gluten-free? It's still pretty good. What'd you get? Let's save some for later. Well, it's important when you have a snack that you spend just as much time doing something physical. Now that can be challenging nowadays. I usually do lots of physical things with my friends. I run around and play team games, But there are some great things that you can do by yourself that is physical or in the house. And one of them is called yoga. Will you say that with me? Yoga. I don't know a lot about yoga, but you can get your Googler out and find out so much. There's one thing you can do in yoga that's named after people like Walter. It's called downward dog. I think it goes something like this. You can try it with me. It's where you make a bridge with your arms and your legs. And you kind of have to stick your backside in the air. Like here. It's something like this. Like, it's something like that. Hold it and stretch. That was a pretty good one. I'm definitely going to look up a lot about yoga. It's important to stretch. You got to stay limber. Where were we? Back to it. He has to go back to the pound, said Father. No, Daddy, please, begged Betty and Billy. Don't send Walter away. He goes tomorrow, said Father. They pleaded, and Walter farted. It was all over. That night, Betty and Billy cried in their beds, and Walter looked at them unhappily. Oh, Walter, said Betty, you've got to stop farting, because Father's going to send you back to the pound tomorrow, said Billy. Walter knew how serious the situation was. He had never seen Betty and Billy again. He wouldn't. He resolved to hold in his farts forever. When Betty and Billy fell asleep, he walked down to the kitchen to see if there was anything around to eat. And he managed to open the cupboard door with his nose and found a 25-pound bag of low-fart dog biscuits. The vet had prescribed for him, which made him fart more. Even though he knew that they made him fart more, he couldn't resist, and he ate the entire bag. Very tasty, said Walter to himself. And then he went and he lay down on the sofa. A gigantic gas bubble began to build inside of him. This is going to be trouble, he said to himself nervously. He was afraid of what might happen if he let it go. He thought maybe the house would explode. So he kept it in, but it wasn't easy. In fact, it was torture, but he had resolved to never fart again. His future depended on it. And as he lay there with his tail wrapped tightly between his legs, he heard a noise at the window. He watched it slowly open, and a pair of burglars came through. They dropped silently into the kitchen. Watch out for the dog, said one of the burglars. He won't bite, said the other. He's a wimp. Walter might have bitten him, except he was so filled with gas that he couldn't move. They tied a rag around his snout so he couldn't bark. Okay, whispered the first burglar, let's clear the place out. They took everything they could get their hands on. Walter wanted to stop them, but he was having unbearable gas pains. He rolled on his back and he waved his paws in the air and he gnashed his teeth. We got it all, said the second burglar. Let's go. Then Walter let it fly. It was the worst fart of his life. It made a tremendous noise and it shot him across the room. A hideous cloud filled the air. The burglars clutched their throats, unable to breathe. With tears in their eyes, they raced for the window. They tried to grab the bag with all the valuables in it, but their arms were too weak. Let's get out of here. I can't seem to turn the page. They jumped out the window and they ran up the block, choking and gasping for air, and still blinded by Walter's attack. They stepped into the headlights of an approaching police car. "Hold it right there," said the policeman. When father and mother came down in the morning, they found the open window, and they saw the bag with their valuables in it, and Walter was sitting beside it. He still had the rag tied around his snout. You would have to say he looked heroic. "He saved the silverware," cried mother. "He saved the VCR," cried father. "Good dog, Walter. You're our dog, even if you do fart all the time." And so the family learned to live with Walter, the hero dog, and that is the end of our tale. Thank you, Ben and Elliot. That is a really good book. If you've got a book that you think we should read, or if you'd like me to say hi to someone, just let me know down there. Thanks for coming to Storytime. Let's do this again tomorrow. I'll see you there.